Honestly, I should have made this a while back, but there are 3 key reasons why that didn't happen. 1. I wanted to watch a show more than once. 2. Before I made this video, I wanted to make sure all my thoughts were well gathered so that way I didn't leave anything out. And 3, y'all, I wanted to make sure I gave y'all enough time to watch it so that way I wouldn't have to worry about spoilers too much. By the way, yeah, if you haven't watched Kipo, what are you waiting on? Spoiler alert. Kipo is one of the best cartoons released so far this year, and here is why. Hey Deviants, it's Devi and welcome back to my channel. Now, let's talk cartoons. If you're new to my channel, hi, my name is Devi. This is my channel, Let's Talk Cartoons, where we do just that. We talk cartoons. So if by the end of this video you like what we do here, talking about cartoons and stuff, please be sure to subscribe and drop a like down below so we can know. Disney Channel, Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon. 3 giants when it comes to animation, especially on TV. But I'm afraid at this point, it's becoming more of a con than a pro to be a cartoon on one of those 3 channels. We live in an era where animators are being hired off Twitter to work on shows, where Tumblr artists are making their own shows. Heck, YouTubers are making their own cartoons and gaining huge successes. I say this to show that there's a switch in the way that cartoons were usually made. Not just in the way that artists are being hired, but also the way stories are being told. There's a certain freedom, and I'm afraid these channels, Nickelodeon, Disney, and these TV channels, they aren't really moving fast enough with the evolution. They have this box that they still put their creators in when it comes to creating a cartoon. Rules made up from a time when things were way different, and it can sometimes be stifling to the show. Also, the repetitive formula can tend to be boring at times. No shade at all. So it's refreshing when a show like Kipo comes around and just decides to shake things up. The base storyline is nothing new. We've seen the fish out of water trope done before. Kipo is our main protagonist, and she's lost in a place that is unknown but yet familiar. There's a little twist, because even though she's from a burrow and is lost on the surface world, it's not 100% new to her because her dad taught her a lot about the surface. This is just her first time experiencing it. The surface is our world but flipped totally upside down. Humans no longer rule and the most have moved on the ground while mutes have completely taken over the land. Mutes, which is short for mutants, are the evolved versions of animals we know, and while they're creepy sometimes, they're sometimes cute. Some evolved so much that they developed human speech. Now we don't know how this happened 200 years ago, or was it 2,000 years ago? I don't remember. We don't know how it happened, but it's not a world I want to live in. No ma'am. Humans have kept animals in zoos, have eaten them for so long. Can you imagine what they'd do if they had the upper hand? All Kipo wants to do is go back home, and there is still so much she needs to learn about the surface in order to do that, especially where her safety is concerned, since she's such a very curious person. This is when things get more interesting. The first character Kipo meets, other than this super cute mute pig Mandu, is Wolf, a human girl who, unlike Kipo, grew up on the surface and has been living there all her life. Immediately, you have a different representation of a female character. You see, Wolf is very androgynous, meaning you wouldn't be able to tell her gender right away just by looking at her. She's also tough and has this primitive instinct and this perspective on life. Totally not what you'd expect from a little girl. Her backstory is also pretty interesting too and gives her character so much dimensions, so much depth. After being an outcast when she was younger, Wolf was taken in by a family of wolves. They showed her so much love but ended up betraying her, that is, trying to kill her and make her dinner. All this happened to the poor kid at such a young age, and it not only traumatized her, but turned her into somewhat of a cold being who just does what she needs to survive. Alright, to be honest, she does show some more human attributes, especially as the show went on. She slowly started to open up, and it's a beautiful thing to see. Next, we have Benson and Dave, who give me strong Finn and Jake vibes. Benson, another human that grew up on the surface, is way more chill about things, and he really complements Wolf's character well. He listens to his music, he drinks soda, hangs out at amusement parks, and is basically our look into the better parts of this savage world. He's also very loyal, a trait he shares with Wolf. Benson also happens to be gay, and the way we found out was so simple. yet so impactful. It was subtle but made a huge impact because even though we've seen gay characters in cartoons before, when have you ever heard one blatantly say the words that they're gay? A quick sidebar here, this show is animated by Studio Mirror, produced by DreamWorks, and distributed by Netflix. You know which other show shared those qualities? Voltron. A show that many can agree did a sloppy job where LGBT plus representation was concerned. Not sure if this was just a rumor, but I heard that they were so vague with the Shiro and Adam thing, and they did their best, the best that they could when it came to the representation, and it kind of sounded like they were implying that the higher ups, like the studio and so forth, was stopping them from bringing the queerness. But this show has the same companies involved and was able to do it so openly and well, so I don't understand what happened, but hey, who knows, maybe Voltron helped pave the way so that Kipo could do it better, maybe? Benson's coming out scene was so cute and funny when it came to Kipo's response, which was so perfect. A great reminder of the fact that these are kids, and it really didn't feel forced to me one bit. Next is Dave.
The earth is flat, that's just common sense.
Oh, we are so dead.
Benson's best friend, who also happens to be a mute that talks.
If it's round, why don't we fall off the bottom? This guy gets it.
They love the same things. Dave is where a lot of the comedy shines through, and it doesn't hurt that he's voiced by Dion Cole, who's one of the funniest people. But yeah, Dave is where a lot of the comedy shines through in the group. A funny little mute he is, and somehow strangely adorable. All these characters together is one of the areas where the show really shines. Another area where it shines is the visuals. Now, I don't know whose idea it was to just fill the world with greens and purples, but I love it. It's a fantastic choice. It makes sense. The greens really show how the world has been taken over by nature and untouched by humans, while the purples play to the fantasy element of the show, the mystique, the unknown. It's beautiful. The world just looked like someone went berserk with their imagination. I especially love this office with the water running through it. Oh my god, I love to see water animated. They also have cars that aren't actually cars. They're being flown by dragonflies and pulled like cars carriages. I can't make these things up. And not only that, but the character designs are on point, and we get beautiful animation, especially when it comes to the fight scenes. We gotta talk about the music too, cause this is one of my favorite parts of the show. Country, folk, hip-hop, dubstep, rock, classical, I can go on. All these genres are found in the show, and as a music lover, I can appreciate that so much. Kipo really shows the versatility of hip-hop. You have trap, you have some bounce music, even some dubbing style rap that I've never seen another cartoon do. The music overall is very fun. It's like each set of characters have their little instrument, like their own little style, not instrument, but their own little style, and I love it. The main villain, Scarlemagne, is closely associated with classical music that represents his flair and his love for the dramatics. It's so creepy because his intentions are to keep humans trapped solely for the purpose of entertainment. He just wants them to dance while he plays pianos. He's a true mad lad. And yes, I totally see the irony since we have zoos and circus and so forth. I see it. There's this one scene where he's just playing the piano faster and faster while the humans have to keep up with the tempo, and when they stopped, they were fighting so hard to catch their breaths but couldn't really let it show that they were struggling. They had to stand in place the whole time. Nightmare fuel. Speaking of Scarlemagne, they did a great job building him to be the big bad, and he did deliver. It was no Fire Lord Ozai build up, but still, I appreciate the way they did it. We could go on and on about the side characters as well, since they are all so fabulous, but then this video would never end. But Yum Yum Hanapa, oh gosh, he's everything. Speaking of characters, Kipo is actually voiced by Karen Fukuhara, known as Glimmer and She-Ra. Grey Delisle Griffin voices a snake in the show. Grey Delisle, of course, is known for voicing Azula, and many other iconic cartoon characters, honey. Sterling K. Brown, fresh off voicing a character in Frozen 2, is the voice of Kipo's dad. And the list really goes on and on when it comes to voices that you're familiar with. You know Momo and Appa? Yeah, that guy voiced a couple people in this show as well. A character in this show as well. I think it's Mandu, I'm not pretty sure. I don't know if any of you guys here are familiar with Pretty Little Liars, but I was a fan, honey. Ian Harden, who plays Ezra Fitz in that show, he actually voices one of the frogs. Isn't that kind of cool?
I never thought that far ahead. I'm new at this.
You know what? We'd have done the same. Look out!
pretty clear that this show was created with much love and passion. Even small things like how the episodes flowed seamlessly throughout and really took advantage of Netflix binge culture, or the show's title appearing within the environment in each episode can be appreciated. From my first watch of the show, I said to myself, someone up there who's in charge really loves music and fashion. I could tell just by looking at these characters and looking at the show, and because I love both, again, it's something I could really appreciate in the show. And of course, it turned out Rad Seacrest himself is a fan of both these things. He and his team did a fantastic job at creating a classic body of work that I would recommend to anyone. Netflix would be crazy not to renew this show for a second season. Even though we've come to know so much in season 1, there's still a lot to touch on, so many mysteries, so many cliffhangers. Personally, I really want to know more about Kipo's power and how her dad knows Scarlemagne, where the humans will live now, and Benson's backstory. Yeah, and best believe there's a lot more still beyond these topics to explore. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed Kipo, let me know down below what your thoughts on the show are. Or if you didn't watch it, let me know why. Like, why have you still not checked the show out yet? Thank you all so much for watching. Please remember to stay positive, change the world for the better, and don't let it change you for the worse. Go around and watch my other videos because this is the end of this video. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching my video today. If you're new to my channel, hi, I'm Debbie. Nice to meet you. I upload videos all the time on this channel, so if you don't want to miss my next video, be sure to subscribe. And speaking of videos, did you watch my last video? If not, don't worry, I got you fam, it's right here. Just go ahead and click on it, watch the video, like and subscribe, why not? See you guys in my next video. Bye-bye.